From his playing days to his coaching years, George Halas's influence spanned the NFL's first half-century. Affectionately known as Papa Bear, Halas coached Chicago to 6 NFL titles, and he is regarded as the founding father of pro football.
Just being a part of the growth of the National Football League, that to me is the greatest thrill or event in my life.
His name was George Trafton, but on the football field he was known as the Brute. A Chicago native, Trafton was an original member of the Decatur Staleys, who later became the Bears. Named the NFL center of the 1920s, Trafton also played a relentless brand of defense that helped him earn a spot in Canton in 1964. As a junior at Dartmouth, Ed Healey enlisted in World War I. Upon his return, he began his pro football career with the Rock Island Independents. In 1922, Healey's contract was sold to the Bears for $100, the first player sale in pro football. With Chicago, the rugged two-way star became a perennial All-Pro and was regarded by George Halas as the most versatile tackle ever. William Roy Lyman was better known as Link. He was the first defensive lineman to slide or shift prior to the snap to confuse the opposition. That technique is emulated by every defense in the NFL today. Lyman also had an uncanny ability to anticipate a play and use that quickness to beat his blocker. His innovative style made him one of the most respected players of his time. In the 1920s, John Paddy Driscoll was considered the greatest drop kicker in football. As a member of the Chicago Cardinals, Driscoll played a key role in a game against the rival Chicago Tigers, with the losing team vowing to cease operations. The only touchdown was scored by Paddy Driscoll. The Cardinals won 6-3, and the Tigers were never heard from again. Harold Red Grange was the first player to attract large crowds to pro football. And while his name helped sell the game, he admits it wasn't easy.
Senator McKinley called George Halas and myself and invited us to go to the White House and meet President Coolidge. And I remember President Coolidge greeting us, and the senator introduced us as George Halas and Red Grange with the Chicago Bears. And I remember President Calvin Coolidge's remark. He said, "Young men, I'm glad to know you." He said, "I always like animal acts."
At 6'2", 225 pounds, Bronko Nagurski made quite an impact on the NFL. He was known for his bruising runs, but it was his arm that helped the Bears win the league's first official championship game.
Really was the beginning of the popularity of pro football.
Late in the season, he led them to a win over the crosstown rival Cardinals and a championship victory over Washington, adding to the legacy of great Chicago running backs. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1971, Bill Hewitt, number 56, was the first player to be named All-NFL with 2 teams, the Chicago Bears and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hewitt was an offensive end with excellent speed, and his toughness was legendary. He refused to wear a helmet until 1939, when the league passed a rule requiring all players to wear protective headgear. At 270 pounds, George Musso was the biggest monster of the Midway during the 1930s and early 40s. Musso was a ferocious player on both sides of the ball. He was the first player to win all league honors at 2 positions. First, as an offensive tackle in 1935. Then, 2 years later, as a guard. A feat that earned this big bear a home in Canton. As the Chicago Bears' top pick in the first NFL draft, Joe Stydahar was known for his toughness. This 6'4", two-way tackle helped the Bears win 5 divisional crowns and 3 league championships. He used his large hands and raw power to rattle opponents. He retired as a player in 1946, but returned to coach the LA Rams to 2 conference titles and 1 world championship. Danny Fortmann was selected in the final round of the 1936 draft, and only then because Bears owner George Halas liked his name. He broke in as the league's youngest starter at age 20, winning all NFL honors for 6 straight seasons while earning his medical degree. Dr. Fortmann entered the Navy in 1943, and in 1965 became only the 2nd guard elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Danny Fortmann was selected in the final round of the 1936 draft, and only then because Bears owner George Halas liked his name. He broke in as the league's youngest starter at age 20, winning all NFL honors for 6 straight seasons while earning his medical degree. Dr. Fortmann entered the Navy in 1943, and in 1965 became only the 2nd guard elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Coming out of Columbia as a triple threat tailback in 1939, Sid Luckman established himself as the first great T formation quarterback. Sid's NFL career was full of heroic efforts, including 2 spectacular performances in 1943. In a game against the New York Giants, Sid threw for a record 7 touchdowns, and in the title game versus Washington, he fired 5 touchdowns in the Bears' run. In addition to being a star quarterback, Luckman also kicked and was a fine defensive back for the Bears. Sid Luckman was the ultimate big game performer and one of the most accomplished passers of all time. Number 5, George McAfee was the star halfback, defensive back, and punt returner for George Halas's Chicago Bears of the 1940s. In the 73-0 rout of the Washington Redskins in the 1940 championship game, McAfee returned an interception 34 yards for a touchdown. Clyde Bulldog Turner went from tiny Hardin-Simmons College to a 6-time All-NFL selection with the Chicago Bears. He played both offensive center and linebacker. As a rookie in 1940, Turner helped the Bears rout Washington 73-0 in the NFL championship. He intercepted a pass from fellow Texan Sammy Baugh and returned it 24 yards for a touchdown.
A two-way player, Ed Sprinkle made his calling as a hard-hitting, ferocious defensive end who struck fear into opponents as a member of the Monsters of the Midway defense.
I'd hit anybody on any play as hard as I could hit them, and that's the way I played.
George Halas labeled Sprinkle as the greatest pass rusher he has ever seen. The Pro Football Hall of Fame agreed, naming him to the All-Decade team of the 1940s.
In the age of the two-way player, very few men could excel at 2 positions, but George Connor was All-NFL at 3. Best known as a dominating linebacker, Connor is unique among Bears Hall of Fame enshrinees.
The Hall of Fame was the epitome of my career, and I found out about it one day, and I went over to George Halas's office, and I said, "Coach, I want you to be my inductor." And he did, and I was the only Bear player he was their inductor for.
Bill George was the National Football League's first great middle linebacker. He possessed speed and brawn that was rarely matched on a football field. George could stuff the run or drop back and cover receivers, which usually resulted in an interception. Stan Jones was one of Chicago's greatest guards. He was one of the first players to use weightlifting to improve his playing condition. Number 78 proved to be a versatile player, logging time on both sides of the ball. Jones's strong defensive play helped Chicago win the NFL championship in 1963. At 6'8", Doug Atkins was a tower of intimidation. Number 81 played a ferocious game at defensive end. An 8-time Pro Bowler in his 17 seasons, Atkins' rugged style defined his era, while his consistent excellence defined Atkins as one of the best ever. Mike Ditka revolutionized the tight end position in the 1960s. He proved that a tight end need not merely be an extra offensive lineman, but could be a viable threat as a receiver as well. One of the toughest players ever, Ditka's mastery of the position carried him all the way to the Hall of Fame.
Give me 18 inches of daylight. That's all I need.
The dynamic Gale Sayers was the NFL's equivalent of a shooting star. Bursting onto the scene in 1965, he won Rookie of the Year honors and tied the NFL's record for most touchdowns in a game with 6. Whether running off tackle, returning kicks, or catching a pass, he was a threat to go all the way every time he touched the ball. Sayers' career only lasted 68 games, but to many, he was the most picture-perfect running back of all time. Linebacker Dick Butkus played the game with one thing in mind, to be the best.
Roses are red and violets are blue. If you got any sense, you'll keep Butkus away from you.
Butkus intimidated NFL offenses for 9 seasons. And although his statistics and achievements are impressive, it was his passion for the game that set Butkus apart.
Fades and passes complete to L.B. Nicola for a Steeler touchdown.
After his playing days, Jim Finks, the administrator, helped turn the Minnesota Vikings of the 60s into contenders.
Chicago Bears, first-round selection, Walter Payton.
He then turned the Bears around in the 70s, and he helped revitalize the Saints in the late 80s. The former quarterback rebuilt 3 struggling franchises into playoff teams. Walter Payton spoke few words, but embodied many. Elusive. Powerful. Nimble. Poetic. Graceful. Smooth. Tenacious. And above all, sweetness. For 12 seasons, Dan Hampton was a cornerstone of the Bears' defense, playing both end and tackle. Number 99 earned the nickname Danimo for his ferocious style of play. A highlight of Hampton's career came in Super Bowl 20, when the monsters of the Midway collected 7 sacks in the Bears' 46-10 victory.
Hey, baby! We're gonna be here all day! We're gonna be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party!
With his booming voice, piercing glare, and imposing physique, Mike Singletary personified intimidation. Number 50 fueled opponents' fears with his quickness and brute strength. Accompanying these gifts was a leader's passion.
Hey, listen up! If it's flop over there and Sterling Sharp is on the inside guy, you got to be on it.
Singletary helped elevate the Bears to Super Bowl success and restore the franchise to greatness.
Selected 73rd overall by the Patriots in the 1980 NFL Draft, defensive tackle Steve McMichael joined the Bears in 1981. He would become a dominating defender on one of the most celebrated defensive units in NFL history, which was highlighted by a 15-1 1985 season and a Super Bowl 20 victory. McMichael set franchise records of 191 consecutive starts and 92.5 sacks during his 13 seasons with Chicago. His 95 career sacks were among the most by a defensive tackle at the end of his 15-year career. McMichael was named first-team All-Pro 3 times and was selected to 2 Pro Bowls.
I think I play the game with a lot of aggression. I try to play it as tough as I can and try to take people on real tough and play them aggressively.
Jim Covert, affectionately known as Jimbo by the Chicago fans, was a stalwart on the Bears' offensive line as their left tackle.
Covert, he played like a man. He's a heck of a football player and a heck of a gentleman. He was as good as I've ever seen.
Named to the NFL's 1980s All-Decade First Team, Jimbo became a Super Bowl champion in 1985. Throughout his career, Richard Dent's combination of quickness and size made him one of the most dangerous pass rushers in the NFL. In 1985, Dent had one of the best seasons ever for a defensive player. He led the NFL with 17 sacks and helped the Bears win the Super Bowl, where he was named MVP. When he retired after the 1997 season, Richard Dent had 137.5 sacks, the third most at the time in NFL history. For 13 seasons, Brian Urlacher was a force in the middle of the Bears' defense. The 2000 Defensive Rookie of the Year, Urlacher was selected to 8 Pro Bowls. A gifted athlete with great hands, Urlacher picked off 22 passes in his career. The NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 2005, Urlacher retired as the Bears' all-time leading tackler.
Picked up by Brian Urlacher running down the right sideline.
Drafted in the second round of the 2006 NFL Draft by the Bears, Devin Hester was the first player elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame primarily as a return specialist. As a rookie, Hester recorded 7 combined return touchdowns, including the opening kickoff of the Super Bowl, becoming the first player to do so. He earned Pro Bowl and NFL All-Rookie team honors. During his 11-year career, Hester reached the end zone by punt return, kick return, rushing, receiving, and a missed field goal return. He retired as the NFL's all-time leader with 14 punt return scores and 20 non-offensive touchdowns. Hester was selected first-team All-Pro 3 times, as well as to the NFL's All-Decade Team of the 2010s, and was one of 2 return specialists chosen to the NFL 100 All-Time Team.